This episode of The Devinwade Show is brought to you by Ace the Engineer, the only other audio engineer I trust to mix The Devinwade Show. If you want your stuff to sound professional, make sure to hit up Ace the Engineer, unless he's with like Beyonce or Patti LaBelle or some shit like that at the moment. Follow Ace the Engineer on IG at Ace the Engineer.
Dev Nasty!
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to an all-new episode of The Devinwade Show where Porta Rich was just dancing weird as hell, flexing muscles and making Wally feel his muscles and shit like that.
I don't know if y'all got the word about our first check, but
all ones? Oh, that's crazy. But this is Dev Nasty, a.k.a. Dangerous Dev Nasty, a.k.a. Choke Your Mama, a.k.a. Choke Your Pop Out, and of course, to the left of me.
It's your girl Walesca D, the fashionista, the one that's flexing on Porta Rich over here. You already know. And to the left of me.
Yeah, it's your boy, Paramount. Y'all know the vibes, action. Lights, camera, action. We ain't playing around. Money Lovers coming soon. Shout out to Focus Studios, my dog Kyrie Terrell, man, and everybody in it. Dope talent. Y'all know what? That's why they gave me the nickname Paramount. Shout out to the chat gang. Salute! Give me some more P's when y'all get a chance.
That's right, that's right. And of course, we got the Nasty Girls with us. Monica Mulatto, a.k.a.
Oh shit, the next one with the big butt. I was gonna say Monica.
So she been wanting to say her own shit, and that's why I say it, because she don't know what the fuck she doing. And of course, we got Sin City with the soon to come
Titties.
You know what I'm saying?
But apparently my intro isn't good enough, so Dev still does mine.
Yeah, listen, I had to do that, Joan, just to make sure, you know what I'm saying?
Just kidding.
Hey, yo, hold on. Before you even run down, hold on, because we got a little pre-joint. You know, sometimes we got a pre-joint. Before you even run into the topics for the day, I want to know on the previous episode, right? We got done the episode and motherfuckers was mad sweaty. Sweat came up as a topic, briefly, right? And we found out that we already been knew, from some guys already been knew that females don't like sweat and sex. They don't like sweat dripping on them. It's like...
But they want you to do all that motherfucking hard work, though.
You better put in that work.
But they definitely want you to go to work and, you know what I mean, bust that thing down all crazy. But some don't like sweat. So I was like, well, damn, you'll let me come on you, but you get irritated when I sweat on you. And then come to find out, my friend here, my buddy, I'm gonna drag her into this. My buddy here, right?
The kingdom.
Says that she would prefer to be semen on her instead of sweat.
No, that's a fact.
So is it semen or sweat?
I prefer semen.
Because you already wet enough, Wally, right?
Yeah. That too. But I just feel like, first of all, like you're sweating, it's dripping in my face, it's dripping. Like, that's too much. It's
where do you think semen goes?
Well, it'll go right to my stomach,
or the butt,
or my back. It depends. It ain't going on my face. It ain't dripping in my mouth.
The only salty thing we want is the white stuff.
We
don't want the other salty shit.
Wow,
I'm over here looking like the white stuff. I look like one single semen.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy when they first said it, but no bullshit. I could kind of like understand it because, again, some females really got this thing about sweat. Like sweat is just, because I've had times where that happened, multiple times where that shit would drop like right in the eyeball.
No, that definitely happens, especially off bald heads. See, we got bald heads. Yeah. So bald heads don't have the hair to collect the sweat. Nah. So I've actually saw it and felt bad. Like you doing something and then you see the shit.
Yeah. Bald head guys are something like, their heads are something like clouds. Like they rain.
Yeah.
This shit just
you gotta pretend it's spit, Dad. Next time you just be like,
that was my bad. I ain't gonna lie though, I did drool on a guy before. Like,
What?
It was like so good, but y'all know.
So this was Ride Game then. Ride Game Wally.
That's your new name, Drew Barrymore.
But check this out. I had
that's actually incredible. Drew Barrymore. Bro, that's going in the intros.
just going in there. Go ahead.
I
yo.
hate
on
the both
top?
of y'all.
Why you on top?
I was, but what
That's
happened was I
hilarious.
had my braces, I remember, and I had my Invisalign on the top. And what happens is like sometimes your saliva just like accumulates a lot in the mouth. So it's like if I'm like if my mouth is open, I'm like, you know what? It's weird.
He was proud of himself. He said, man, I had this
But it was
bitch
just like a
drooling
little
last night,
drool.
nigga.
I was like, I was about to orgasm, and then it literally was like,
But
She
that's
said drool
normal.
emoji for
That's
real.
normal. I just think like a lot of guys don't be telling the women, you guys fart, y'all drool, all that shit. Like when y'all be sleep, y'all be tweaking.
Yeah,
nah,
that's
we
for sure.
Y'all don't know.
I hate farting when I sleep. Dad, we had this conversation.
Y'all
Remember
all
when
do
you
it.
said Connie will be mad when she...
Yeah.
I'll
yeah.
turn over and do the same shit. I'm like, nigga, why you moving?
Nah, she literally do that. My girl fart when she sleep, wake herself up and look at me
Well,
like
shit.
mad at me.
Hopefully you with one of them niggas who like it. They gonna be under your ass while you knocked out.
They're gonna be
trying
under the blanket.
trying to sniff
sleep
every
under
blow.
Nah, I ain't gonna front. I be trying to smell my girl farts and shit like that. Yo. Cause it make her uncomfortable. You know, like
It
you know
don't
the-
make you uncomfortable.
Nah, because it's like, you know the things your girl do to annoy you all the time? That's something I'll do because she don't want me to, your woman don't want
No.
you to smell nothing like that.
Absolutely
So that's
not.
where I'll start fucking with her
Right.
to make her uncomfortable because she do that type shit to me. You feel?
And that's one of his fetishes. He just doesn't want to tell us.
nah,
He has he has a fetish.
Don't
It's,
listen.
it's fine.
You know what I don't like? Hold on, before we get into the topic. So y'all know I'm working out. I'm trying to be this nasty girl. Y'all know what I'm trying to do.
Hey.
I hate like when a guy, like when you just came from the gym and then your guy wants to be all up on you. And I'm very self-conscious, like with my armpits.
That's because Wally don't wear deodorant, y'all.
I do wear deodorant.
She don't,
I wear
yo.
organic deodorant.
She wears some she takes like
Without
a leaf out the jungle and wipes her shit.
She wear the shit Magneto with it. It can't have like aluminum or something. Some crazy metal thing.
That's a fact. So like,
It's
just don't
weird.
get close to me. Like, let me shower. Men be like, no, I like you like that. I'd rather hit you. No, absolutely not. Let me shower first.
That's dope. That's actually dope because I'm kind of like that guy. But I understand that. You want to like get ready and actually be better for me.
Yeah.
But nah, give me that shit when I want it. Fuck that. Give it here. It's like, nah.
Damn.
I can understand.
But we're gonna get into a topic. When we meet new people, a lot of times we're with a person and you might be with that person for 6 months, a year, 2 years. Unfortunately, for some people, 10 years before they find out things about a person's past or just habits of a person or a way their family is, different stuff like that.
Right.
So the question we're going to talk about today, and I definitely want people interactive in the chat, drop in their answers immediately, because we in the chat right now going in with y'all, is what are some must-ask questions? Things that a person should know when they first start dating a person. What's something that you gotta know, Wally?
That I'm asking them. Correct?
Yes, something you need to know about
I
them.
have a couple questions. I always say, like, I do a rundown. The first 30 minutes of our date, like, I'm asking questions because I just need to know, especially if I'm just meeting you. I want to know if you have children. I want to know if you've been married before. I want to know if you're currently in a situation, whatever you got going on, what you do, where are you from, and some of like your family background a little bit. I run down those questions, but the thing is, to make the person feel comfortable to answer them, I kind of answer them while I'm asking the questions.
So when you say those are must ask questions, what's going to alarm you or make a difference when the person tells you, I'm from Minnesota, I'm from New York? Why is that a must ask? Because what difference in weight would it weigh to you based off of where a person's from?
I think it just depends on like, okay, is he locally that I don't know? Would he might know someone that I might know? Like those are things that like, I just need to know these type of things.
Oh, so this is really questions he need to be asking your ass in a sense, because you're the one worried about if things are going to cross over or stuff like that.
Or you ever heard like, oh, a girl was dating such and such, but you never like, it might have been a while ago and you never ran across this person, and you come across this person and you say like, oh, I'm from Pennsauken and my name is David or something. Like, oh, this might be the David that
I understand
such
what
and
you're
such
saying.
dealt with. Like, I just need to kind of know demographically where you been at.
That could be, I could see that one of those like, hold on, what year you graduated? So you could kind of
Right.
know what circles that person might have been in, or ask
And
some
then you
different
start
questions.
asking, once you find that information, you go back home and you reach out. Do you know such and such? You got to do your background checks.
And that way your hating ass friends could block him. You know what I'm saying? That's all they be doing. Oh, I know him, Tyrone. He be fucking bitches. They be just trying to get niggas off the table. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, sometimes you get some good knowledge, from that. But I just think ultimately just knowing, like, if a person has kids or if a person has, has been married before, it just kind of puts things in perspective for me. And also, it can divert the conversation. Like, oh, okay, like, when did you get divorced? Like, you kind of engage where that person's at in their lives.
So I would have thought you would have asked something like, because I think that people simply would tell you stuff like, do they have kids? I would hope. You know what I mean? I would hope. I thought you would maybe ask something more like, do you want to have kids? Because if you get with somebody and y'all doing whatever y'all doing and you find out 6 months in when you really involved with them that they're like, actually, I don't ever want to have children.
Right.
That'll fuck you up, something that you needed to know.
I feel like that would come hand in hand. Like, you would say, like, hey, do you have any
kids?
kids?
Yep.
Would you ever like to have kids if you don't have any
Like
now?
a sub-question.
It would be, I feel like that'd be in the same category.
And not ask that question directly, because remember, we talked about this in a previous episode. Sometimes with Taki, sometimes certain men might feel a way if you ask them like that on the first date.
They might be like, oh, damn, she's trying to trap me. She want to have kids right now. I just met her. This is our first time hanging out.
Being mindful and being choosy with what questions you're asking. And it's strategy.
I don't necessarily think that it has to be the first date when you first start dating someone. I don't think it has to be the first date.
Oh, okay.
It don't have to be the first date, because certain questions you're going to want to, like before I say maybe some of the things that I might want to know, what's something, Porter, that you feel like is important to ask somebody when you first start dating them? You know what I mean?
Now, right, in my older days,
I don't care when it is. You tell us.
It changes, because in my younger days, it was more immature. It was like, are we fucking? You fucking? Like, I just wanted to make sure that they was definitely of it active.
They were definitely DTF.
That's why I'm being serious, though. I wanted to make sure we know what time period, because
we're talking about now. Tell us about Porter now.
Tell us. I want to hear all of it, actually.
Well, see, Dev like the ratchet.
Yeah, I want to hear all of it.
He liked when I was young, and I really wanted to know, like, are you activated? Like, are you ready to, like, get this shit shaking?
Activated?
Yeah, and what do you like?
You asked that when you asked
do you drink? Do you smoke or drink? Was one of my favorite joints back then.
Guys used to ask me that back in the day.
Back in the day, that was one of my favorite joints, because if I knew you smoked or drink, I knew it was lit. Every day we lit. It's gonna be a party. I'm definitely getting in them yaks. But
damn.
I'm just saying. But now, all right, let's go to more mature Porter. That's enough of the ratchet shit. Now, seriously, more mature Porter, must ask questions. It's crazy. And again, I still feel how I feel. I don't really feel like, I don't know. Then again, I get it about a little time limit when you first meet somebody. You don't want to bombard them with these certain questions on a first date. But for real, again, because remember, I gave a spill about a person who went right straight to the, you know what I mean?
That's me.
And it worked out, So when I do decide to get to it, which I'm most likely gonna get right to it, I would want to know shit like, do you have kids? Is a must. That's a good one. That's just a no-brainer. Do you have children?
You going to know that,
right?
Especially at this
but
stage in
but
time.
then let's go a little deeper. Let's go a little scuba diver deep with me just now, me being where I'm at now in my life, maturity, shit like that. I would give them almost an array of things, right? And then have them kind of like sequence them for me by importance. Which one is more important than the other? And I might give them 5 things. I might give them like loyalty, peace, money. I'll throw money in the equation. Money, peace, communication, maybe happiness and peace kind of like run concurrent. But now in my days where I'm at now, I would give them like an array of terms like that, right? Maybe 5 of them. And want to ask them, like, what would be the most important out of these for you? What's your most important, from top to bottom, from most important to least important, right? Because it's certain things like that I think all humans kind of like want to know when you picking your partner. Because to some people, money's not everything. They find happiness in other things. They find peace in other things. To some people, money is major. for my things that I like in my life, for the things that really set me off and thrill me, right? I like to shop. I like to do certain whatever, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. There's no judgment here. What you like is what you like. Your life is your life. But I would give them, a selection of things, and I think it would be those things that I just mentioned, like tell me how important, communication, money, peace, family, and things of that, and ask questions like that, arrange them for me, because then after that I would be able to build off of that. I feel like we would be able to build an excellent conversation, and I know for me those are things that are important to me, and maybe I could flip it for her and say, yo, give me 5 things that you want to know about me, because we different creatures.
See, me, I can't. The questions that I would ask on some must ask type of shit wouldn't be anything based off of something that's not like I don't know how to word this right. That's not based in a fact. So I like questions that's simple, like did you ever do this before? Not shit like because a lot of those hypothetical questions, or they're not hypothetical. Those opinions you find out later. She told you money wasn't important,
Because it
but
sounded
then
good.
once you saw it, I think like a woman, for example, right? The stuff I'm talking about for me, if a woman, would you feel a way if you was dealing with a man, y'all together, everything good, right? But then you find out before he was ever with you, he's donated to sperm bank and he got kids. Now he don't got kids he raised, but he went to a sperm bank and did his thing, and his sperm has been used 1 or 2 times or whatever, and he has children, but it's like he don't got no contact with them. Now, a lot of times with, like, let's say something like a sperm bank, they might have a situation where the parent could be the I don't want to use the wrong word, parent, but the donor could be contacted when the kid turns 18. Right. So now he gets that contact, and now he's coming to you. Y'all already in with kids and everything, and he's like, hey, I had never even thought about this again. Back in college, I did that, and I've got 2 kids, twins that hit me up. You feel what I'm saying? Those are the type of things that I believe that a person should ask a person when they meet them. If you ask a man something like that, have you donated sperm? Have you done something like that before? Because these are things, how would you feel if you found that out later on when you was dealing with a nigga?
I wouldn't scale it to something very dramatic, but I will feel a way, because that's something I feel like I need to know. Right. Because what we know now and what we're finding out is that these people that do donate their sperms and stuff, sometimes those kids that find out that their other parent is a person that's donated their sperm are trying to reach out to these people now. Like, that's a thing. So I think, yeah, I would have preferred you to tell me that ahead of time, so at least I know and I'm aware, and I'm not like getting thrown left field, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell?
But
25 years down the line.
I think that kind of like goes back to Dev just saying that's why that would be like kind of like the important questions for him, because it's kind of like almost like pre-thinking of the things that would be like almost like a deal breaker for you.
So that's what I'm saying, because now you can't break the deal.
Basing your questions off of those things.
Got you.
Yes.
That's what I felt.
Yeah, no, but that's real, because what happens is it's hard to break the deal when now you are with this person and you have a fucking 16-year-old with them, but you find out you thought y'all was the only kids y'all had was y'all kids together. And now you like, actually, he got an older brother. I didn't know it was just a sperm bank thing. It wasn't like I was dealing with a woman or I slept with somebody. Right. But I think most women would feel like almost like they got cheated on, or feel like they're
it's a betrayal.
Right. They would feel like the reality that they already had isn't really set anymore. It's like, I thought I had my own family union. Me and you came together, and we're the only people, we produce these kids together, and we don't have none with nobody else. And now I find out there's another person.
At that point you would feel more obligated to make things work, but
I think like I don't think necessarily, this might sound crazy, but like I don't think he doesn't necessarily have the right to share that with that person. Like I don't feel like he owes that to anyone if that's a decision he's made maybe in his younger days. And the reason why I say that
his body, his choice.
I'm about to go there.
So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm in a space where it's like, if that's something that he wanted to do, then that's on him. Like I can't be mad at a decision you made. Like he can't be mad at me if I made a decision that I aborted a child.
No, yes. So yes, he can.
No, but that's not. No, I'm saying that I aborted a child. That's not his. Like,
yes, he can. I'm gonna tell you. This is what I'm saying. If a man don't believe in that to a certain extent, whatever his religious belief is, like let's say he believed that you had a kid. Period. I don't look at. Let's say he just looks at it like that. It's important for that man to ask women that. Right. For me personally, let's say he said, this is my religious belief. Have you ever had an abortion before?
Now, if he asks that, then that's
that's the whole point of this topic is the must ask questions because it might bother the fuck out of him to find out years later that his wife, this isn't the first time. He thought this the first time she got pregnant.
You know what?
And he find out she's actually been pregnant twice. That'll break a nigga fucking heart.
You know what might be a fire, right? And I know y'all gonna think I'm joking, but I'm not. A fire new millennium must ask question, right? Is that your ass? Is it? I love it.
It makes sense though.
It looks like it yours.
Definitely a new millennial.
It fits the body better than some of the others I've seen. Is it yours?
That's a real joint because you got to think the one Asian boy sued his wife because
genetics.
Because they had a baby together. She was bad, and he found a picture of her and found out it was all plastic surgery. Wow. He felt like he got scammed. So these are certain things that I do think can be important to people because. Believe it or not, ladies, based on whatever your belief is, a man feeling like this is my girl. She's never been pregnant before. We're having a baby together, and her say, actually, I was pregnant twice with my ex.
Right.
That might fuck a nigga up. The same way if you found out, I mean, I don't know how you would feel, Sin. Right. If your husband, you found out, you thought that y'all had a family unit and it was just y'all, and then you find out he actually got 2 other kids from a sperm bank. Would it bother you that he didn't divulge hey, I actually gave sperm?
I would absolutely be upset that he didn't disclose that information to me. But I don't I think if we've already had our own family built and we already had our own bond together, I don't think it'd be a deal breaker or anything that we couldn't work past. Because at the end of the day, maybe he needed the $10,000 or whatever. Maybe that $10,000 was an investment and now we're in a happy home together.
Does it matter the amount of sperm he's donated? What if it was a lot?
At the end of the day, though, they make you sign contracts, they make you sign disclosures, they make you sign stuff, and the parents of these test tube babies already know what it is. Whether that person wants to be disclosed or not is going to be solely up to him. So if he does check off hey, they can talk
to me when I'm 18.
Yeah. If he does that without confronting me, telling me that he did that and somebody's coming up, we're going to have a problem. But if he does sign off saying, hey, babe, when they're 18, they may come out, reach out to me. I may go out to lunch with them once or twice, but they're adults, they're grown. We don't got to take care of them. They're not my financial, whatever. I'd be like, all right, that's cool. If y'all want to go have lunch once or twice, whatever, that's on you. But that has nothing to do with me. And I
think a lot of women might be upset or look at you weird.
Like I said, my initial reaction, I might be
but
really
I'm talking about even if you told them on the first date. If y'all was dating and you was like, if they was like, you got any kids? And it's like, I don't, but I've donated the sperm. I think a woman would be like, so you just don't even know you might have kids out there or do they disclose to them? However it works, y'all can let us know in the comments how that works, whether they contact you when they use it or however that works. But I know that in certain cases, you could be contacted at 18. And I think a lot of women might be weary.
Right. And in that moment, I'd be like, oh my gosh, she gave me the option to do what I wanted to do.
And that's why certain niggas won't tell you. And that's why people got to have some must ask questions. One other question that's stuff like that is, have you worked in the sex industry? I remember being young, when I worked at fucking, I was working at the fucking Office Max or some shit like that. And one of my best friends, he was dealing with a chick that he was hyped off of. Everything was good.
Right.
But during her college time, she ended up being an escort. but escort in the sense of they just go with rich dudes to like fancy events and shit like that.
Candy, like your arm candy.
Arm candy. But there's a sub-culture to that shit where you might go on a date and you get paid your regular shit to just show up.
But he might upcharge you to
The dude
stick it
is
in
just
your butt.
so 1 minute you getting paid $500 to be arm candy, and then he says, if you want to stay the night, I got $6,000 for you. Now you in motherfucking college eating oodles and noodles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The night was alright. It was cool.
Right.
Boy ain't terrible.
Right.
And she like 6 bands right now in school, and she did it.
I ain't mad at Bull because I kind of like don't like having candy with me that I can't eat either. I'm not mad at you for wanting to taste the candy.
So you might not be mad at Bull, but you might be mad at your wife when she tells you years later, I did that.
Right.
And it was lucrative at the time. I was young and I did it a few times. So these local people that's around, they know your girl.
Did you do it a few times with the same man you were the escort for? Or did you do it a few times?
No, you did it a few
times.
times. Like you went on these dates, and sometimes the dudes went on dates and they ain't asked for nothing else. And sometimes
that's prostitution.
you was a well, that's what I'm saying. Did you? So these are important. In today's time, I'm telling y'all right now.
That's an important
question. This question is so important. If you look at a group of women, and this not judging, this is just for y'all men that want to know. In that group, you be shocked at who's a prostitute, who's popping a pussy, fingering themselves on OnlyFans. Hold on, this is real. I'm talking about you be like, I know her. A group of 10. How many in that group? This one sell pussy on the low. This one do it, but she more don't give a fuck. Let people know. That one right there, you be shocked at what the fuck is going on in the underworld of her life. You know what I mean?
Right. So OnlyFans is more like realistic in our time, you know.
Oh, it's
everybody.
It's shocking actually.
And anyone can subscribe to it, so it's like we know your wife. Like we're currently subscribed to
exactly.
her.
And sometimes people's history and those things is so brief. But the memories live forever. The evidence is forever. They might have only been on that vibe for a summer. Right. And that was it. But some men wouldn't be able to take that summer finding it out years later. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. A good must-add. I'm going to get a ladies one because I felt like I did one on the ladies for us. So I'm going to get a ladies one because I just want to kind of like, I guess I'm breaking guy code to a certain extent.
Have you ever murdered anyone?
No.
Come on, man. Yo, you need
You know what I'm murdering. You know what I'm murdering.
You know, like the felons, that's a must-have question I got to ask.
You know what I'm murdering and where my felonies coming in.
Actually, when women ask that though, real quick, to be honest, it's really fucked up in our environment. It's fucked up. It be a turn on with a lot of chicks, man. Go ahead, go ahead. It do.
Be crazy. But I just want to tell the ladies, a good joint for like a must ask, right? We talking about must ask questions. A good joint for like if you knew the ball was in the trap, straight dope boy shit. He come from the dope boy. He young. Since he was young, he baby. A good must ask joint is: have you ever tricked your customer? Have you ever tricked a customer? Have you ever got your meat sucked or pounded on a crackhead?
What was he called? Yeah, pipe. What was it? We talked about the talk.
Have you ever dated a fiend?
You
ever dated like a fiend?
Okay.
I mean,
you saying tricked on a customer? I didn't even think.
Hold on. You think that's a one of those deal breakers for a woman?
I think
because you must have been living really low. You must have been having some things going on in your life. If you had to stoop that low.
No, that's the part.
I think a lot of females would definitely. I think a lot of females. No, listen. I get you, and this is why I brought it up, and this is why I mentioned it. I think a lot of females would definitely look down on it.
But you're not wrong though, because a lot of fiends are businessmen.
But listen to me. I think
he's not fucking businessmen.
Yeah, I'm talking about business women.
I'm just saying from a woman's perspective.
But listen. I get what you're saying though, because I do agree with you that I think a lot of women would look down on it, right? Without really like understanding it. Yeah. And kind of like knowing the actual insides and details of the lifestyle.
It depends on
of these type people.
No. I'm telling you, it's definitely a part of the lifestyle. Is not uncommon at all.
Oh, and I'm sure it's not.
Don't you know, listen, if a regular girl, a regular woman who works at a hospital, amazing, beautiful, right? Stacked, bad. If she start getting high, for about 6 months because her mom died and she just hit rock bottom, started doing fucked up shit. In 6 months, she's gonna be labeled a fiend, a junkie. And if you trick her, which think about it, 6 months ago.
Can you explain? Can you say it the right way? Because you using the slang.
What did we say? We said you may say words that may not regulate with me.
When you tricking them, you know you it's like they need some money, and you gonna offer them money for the sex. It's almost like
or drugs. They need drugs for sex.
Or drugs for the sex.
The only thing is, I'm gonna think all your ex-girls are crackheads, so it doesn't really make a difference.
No,
but it's good that you say that. It's good that you say that, and I appreciate it, Monica, because it's honesty, and I know
these are must-ask questions, and you get to decide what you do with them.
And it's understandable, Even though I don't agree with that, I don't agree with every guy that was in the trap, right? That was in the ghetto lifestyle. You sold drugs in the ghetto community because that's basically what we're saying. You sold drugs to the people around you, right? Some had worse addictions than others, where they lost weight, all kinds of shit.
Right.
You might have knew them from previous. You know they kind of like was aight. You know them. They good people even. They probably not. You probably even know that they don't even had no man and not even sexing like that. And you get brained by them, right? You get some brain from them. You get some head from them for some crack, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, like Monica said, will look at it and probably think, oh, this nigga just date all crackheads.
And a lot of niggas won't tell you that they did that, but they did that.
Or they may look at you weird because it's like, why are you making these crackheads do that if they need help?
Hold on. We got to make sure that we keeping it in perspective. We got to make sure we keeping it in perspective. A lot of this is coming from kids, is hustling from kids.
Yeah.
The nigga 15 years old and he fucking he got a grown woman that wants some drugs, and that's just a part of the lifestyle. He's seen the older niggas doing it. It's a difference because you was doing it also is a lot of teenage kid trappers was doing this shit.
That's mainly who did it.
Look at him like, why would you make her do that?
That's when I did it. When we were fucking kids, we didn't even really know any better. We was still like lacking a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? But it's a fact.
I'm gonna look at you like, what would you make me do if I'm your girl? And now I'm struggling, and now I need some help, and you're my man. That's how you gonna help me?
Don't get it fucked up. I brought that up for the ladies to ask is a must ask. Add some humor. Add some humor with some truth to it.
No, but I was gonna say there is definitely some truth to it because. All right, so this doesn't seem like a major must ask question, but I would ask, what are your hobbies? Because they may like to go out and party every weekend, do drugs, do this, and it may be more than what you thought it was. And now you got to deal with somebody who has an addiction, and that's really hard to deal with.
But even in that case, I think what leads to is people don't tell their bad habits.
No.
But it's like, what are your hobbies? They could be fun, like jokeful hobbies that you don't sit up and buy it. But a smart woman is going to be like, oh, he likes to go out every weekend. He likes to do this all the time.
I feel like a real dope boy who really might have got his shit mopped off by the lady who he used to motherfucking cook up in her house, right? Because she smoked coke. He used to cook it to get his shit cooked up in there. Old head, she had the fatty too, but he just got gobbled up. I believe that if you asked him some shit like that on some like you a dope girl, dope female, he trying to get to know, and you ask him some shit like that out of nowhere, I believe that it would be a laugh, a good joke. He might keep it 100 with you, like, yo, when I was young, we all, everybody had a little experience with that. Right. It ain't like niggas did that every day.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We had girlfriends. I went to prom. I was going to proms, all that shit. I was like, I was that guy. But late nights and shit like that, certain shit happened. And we was the fellas. I be sit here to be fronting to say when we had two joints that was just like ready to get loose for the night, and we 16, 17 out there hustling. And we like, nah, we gonna do
y'all was probably sniffing
that we didn't do shit.
No, so that's
I'd be fake. I'd be fraud.
So that's a lot of the sexual shit like that, because asking a person something like, have they had threesomes and things like that before? For some niggas, it'll bother them if they girl had a threesome, no matter how
but if she want to have a threesome with him, it's okay.
No, that's not everybody. Hold up, but no, that's not everybody. That's not everybody. Some men do not like the idea of their wife and another person's now wife was both sucking on a dick together.
That's true.
So some people just not going to ride with that. Like most men don't like the idea that my girl and another girl both was sucking bull dick together.
And a lot of guys, for real, we can't, because a lot of guys, for real, probably ain't with the fantasies. They probably ain't with a threesome, ain't with none of that.
Majority of them probably aren't.
You know why? Because a lot of guys are starting to think, how many of these have you done?
Yeah.
This is the question. This goes back.
And it starts to multiply and add up. And now they're like, if I'm sleeping with you, I'm sleeping with all them other.
Some people actually like the simple, basic fundamentals, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. I probably feel like majority of the men nowadays with the world that we're living in now probably rather watch fantasies than be in the fantasy.
And imagine if you ask the person something like they had a threesome, it gives them at least the opportunity to say, even if in their opinion, 2 men and a woman is a threesome, if we go on with Monica's math, and that's fine.
Right.
Now finding that out is not, a lot of men is out of there. From the beginning when she say, I've never had sex with another woman and a man, but I've had sex with 2 men at once. Mm-hmm. A lot of men is going to be like, okay, I'm glad I asked that important question now because.
Or they'll remember you for when them and their friend want to.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, I'll never wait for you.
I might just start texting my homie right there. I might start texting the nigga right there.
No, that's how you get put in your whatever category because what happens is if a man finds out these things later on when they have people don't understand it's not just this animalistic thing. What happens is a man sees you, falls in love with you, looks at you on a certain pedestal, and you become like angelic to him in a sense. So what happens is when you start to look like that for him, when he finds out any bad things that you did, that shit hit him different.
And you start to look
she was pregnant by somebody before. Oh shit, she got a train ran on her before. Oh shit, she used to be on drugs. These are things that motherfuckers want to know. Yeah. Because even when you ask a person about something like past drug addiction, if you ever dealt with anything like that in your family, in your life, some people might not trust dealing with a person that used to be on heroin. You know, as commendable as it is for a person to like fight a battle like that and recover, some people aren't built to deal with the whole once an addict, always an addict, but they hold that down day by day.
That has to do with that person. It may just be something that they dealt with somebody else who was an addict and now they're holding a little bit resentment on that person.
Correct. If you came from your mom having that addiction and you said, I can't marry a woman that had those struggles because my mom had those struggles or my father had those struggles. So these are important questions. Real big belief questions are important. Religion. Sometimes religion is one of those things that, in my opinion, in life, I've noticed pop up and out of a lot of people's lives. They have a base in religion, and then they go some years wilding and doing what they want, and then that shit comes back to them. Right. And it's always strange, because I've dealt with it where you're dealing with a woman and they on regular time.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, they catch that want to be all in church, crazy
demon
spirit.
time.
No, they catch the spirit time.
Yeah, they catch
They want to be in church time.
There's no real way to even like almost anticipate that though.
It's not. So, but the thing is, you might find out, like, so you grew up in a church. What's your basic belief system? Because a lot of times what people run into is when they have kids, if you believe something hard body this, and that's what you want your son to believe, hard body, and your wife is like, hard body, no.
Right.
It's this way.
They're not going to want to compromise and raise their children.
People don't compromise about God too often.
Right. And that's why you got to know certain religions, because I know, I'm dating and the person that I'm dating, he's Catholic. Like that's his thing. And I remember he was sharing like how it used to be a non-negotiable was dating someone who was Catholic. But clearly, I'm not Catholic. I'm more Christian. I kind of go in that direction, which is
it's all Christian, but it's all Christian,
but it's just a different denomination.
Yeah,
we practice a little different. But I think essentially it's just revisiting that conversation and just be like, hey, like if we ever go into a relationship or if we ever have kids, like let's let them choose which one they want to do. We can definitely present it in their lives, but like I'm not gonna sit here and say like this is gonna be a Catholic household.
That's very difficult. You christen a baby. You christen a baby.
Well, no, you can christen a baby if that's what we want to do, but that's a conversation we gotta have together.
But if a Catholic man is gonna be like, yo, my baby taking their first communion.
That was a big argument between me and Andrew because Andrew's Jewish and I'm Christian, and before we knew the sex of the baby, and we swore when we were having a boy. He was like, oh, yeah, like the rabbi's gonna do the circumcision. And I said, wait, what? I said, a rabbi is not going to use the blade that, shed everybody else's dick. Not going to do that to my kid.
That sounds crazy.
I know, I get it though.
But like I said, okay, I get it. You want to have the ceremony? That's fine. If I have a boy, I will let you have your ceremony. But the doctor will circumcise my son at the hospital. And that was the
Jewish people really do that? Like
Yes.
the priest does it right in front of them?
You got to think even from
they do it in front of everybody as a whole ceremony.
And you got to understand even what bar mitzvahs are and things like that, what it actually means, waiting for a Messiah and things like that. Like these are things that people, when you're raised a certain way, it's burned into your being that this is the truth and this is what it is. And
the right way.
And that's why these are important conversations to have in the beginning, because they get some of the most volatile that possible.
Two things I want to touch on real quick, just because I want to spread some shit out there. But one thing is, like, I kind of like, me personally, bro, I kind of like understand how like people fluctuate with religion. You know what I mean? Because I really believe that it's an everyday battle, right? Because I think we put so much focus on God and godly ways and the right shit we supposed to do that we forget about the devil and evil energy, and that it works and it lurks and it's on your conscience. A lot of times, it's crazy because again, we supposed to speak on God. Nobody's really like, the devil is like the negative thing, right?
Yep. Right.
And a lot of people who probably, I've only met one person in my life that told me like, yo, I believe in the devil.
That's crazy.
Straight up.
Gangbang bull, right? He was a gangbanger in the streets,
He got killed 2 weeks after he told me he believed in the devil.
Crazy.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
He told me he was about to get it, and he was dead serious. It was to the point, because I was trying to talk to him about some godly shit. It was to the point where I had to walk away. I was like, I really didn't know what to say at that point.
Right.
But again, back to this little battle that I'm mentioning, you know, we just got to be mindful. And I just want to give that, I want to give this, you know, give a little leeway and a little understanding to the folks out there that deal with the type of shit that Dev mentioned. Because it's true. And we do want to lean on one side. We don't want to really like be flopping. We ain't supposed to be flopping, right? We supposed to be like really like on one side, one way, one consistent, especially when you've made up your mind of who you are and how you want to live your life. But we just do got to be mindful that I believe that wholeheartedly evil lurks. I know when my evil conscience is talking to me.
Yeah.
And I feel it's about really like getting in tune with yourself and mastering yourself even before you go. Because it's like Dev said, that, you know, this was coming from us speaking about the females or just period in a relationship, and how like, you know, a person could drag that into a relationship where like 1 week, 2 months, you doing good, you solid as a rock.
Right.
Because you in your godly time. Then next week is you trying to rebuke the devil, you eating meats, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just got different for a minute.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's really,
you went from day to nighttime.
Yeah, I think it's different if the person comes in like they don't have a religious base.
Right. Yeah.
And you're all are having a relationship a certain way, and then out of nowhere they kick up this overdrive. Like I got in an argument with a chick that was talking about how we needed to be in church and all of this, and it came from nowhere, because it's like, I've known you around for years,
right?
And now we just started we fucking with each other for months. And then out of nowhere, you on this time. It's like if we sleeping together, it's like, yo, the first day we ever chilled together, we was fucking, right? And we've been fucking since. But then out of nowhere, you talking about, I can't fuck till I get married. Now, right? All of a sudden, that's the new thing. But I find out you really did grow up in this, like, hard body. When I met you was just during a time where you was kind of running around doing what you was doing. But I never... In our conversations, I asked about other shit, but I never asked, like, what's your roots as far as, like, your religious beliefs and shit like that? And
I feel you 110%, because I feel it's like how you kind of, like, discuss it and let your people know about it,
Excuse Els, yo.
Because
his pornos just came on out of nowhere.
Elio the Magnificent.
In the middle of the God conversation.
Right, shout out to the God. But listen, I just feel like it's definitely accurate, bro, because, you know, it's kind of like, how you kind of like, I guess, ask him, hold on, I don't want to lose my train of thought. It's kind of like because you threw me off with the Elio shit.
Yeah, he was on the porno time. Out of nowhere.
Bring me back up to speed.
No. We was just talking about the fact that people out of nowhere will present some of the upbringing, the religious upbringing they had, but you didn't ask. You never asked about that shit.
And what I was gonna say is, I just feel like when a person speaks about it with conviction, right? Like it's a commitment. Like, no, I'm a committed religious person. And then you turn around and then a week later, you flip-flop. You turned into the stone cold sinner. You know, it's hard. It does get harder to accept when you talking like, that's why, again, it go back to like really like working on yourself and knowing yourself before you start bringing people into your life or entering into other people's lives.
Yeah, also being honest too, though. Like, you have to be honest on what your religious journey is. You could be like, I always say, like, I'm a work in progress.
Right.
Yeah,
and that was part of it that I was going to say. Like, if you're a struggling Muslim like me, You see, I've been on here and I'll be like, yo, I don't know it all. I don't know about that and everything. I'm not going to sit and try to see
figuring it out.
Most people, if you grow up, right? Once again, this is what I love about podcasting, because sometimes our conversations, they morph. And they morph into something that's like something you got to speak about. If my girl grows up Jehovah's Witness and that's what it is, and I talk to her and I ask her, like, what's your beliefs on that? And she said, well, I grew up Jehovah's Witness. I don't really subscribe to those things because I do this. I celebrate Christmas and all that. That's my base of how I grew up, but I'm not really a person that goes to church like that, right? Cool. I make that decision. Now, if out of nowhere, we've been together 6 years, we already know what type of time we on.
Right.
But some people might run into a situation identical to mine, and then out of nowhere, the person is just like, we need to be at the Kingdom Hall.
Or what
and
if,
a motherfucker be like, whoa, what?
Or what if now y'all get together, she's raised Jehovah's Witness, doesn't subscribe to it, but now y'all have kids, and she's like, well, that's how I was raised. So my kids are going to be raised like that.
So at least you would know where it came from if you asked what it was in the beginning. At least it gives you something, because a lot of this shit will throw people all the way off because they didn't know those important things.
Yeah, you need it, and like, you gotta be in real conversations. I think that's what I'm learning as an adult now, being 32. Really being transparent and being honest. Like, let's stop like playing around and making it seem like, something that we're not perfect at, or, we're flawed, and kind of being afraid to share that.
So I want to do something that I didn't plan at all. I didn't plan this at all. What's questions that you would ask another person?
You just said six fucks in like one sentence.
I know.
What do you say?
I know. Forget.
What do you say?
Forget questions that you ask. What's some things as a responsible human being you need to tell somebody that you dating, whether they ask you or not? And I'm going to start this off because over the last couple of weeks, I've seen a few people die behind this right here. Women need to start telling the men that they dealing with about their violent boyfriend that they just broke up with, husband that they used to just broke up with,
stalking,
that's still around, that's still lurking. We got brothers traveling out of town, and not making it back home. You know what I'm saying? We got people, dating women, and they talk, they not disclosing that they just broke up with the boy that said, oh, get with another nigga and watch what happened to him and shit like that. And we watching people get killed behind a lot of weak shit. We seeing famous people with notoriety getting killed behind shit like that. I'm going to say that that's one of the things that I believe a responsible person should be telling people about when they meet them.
And don't get it fucked up, right? It's vice versa. Because we know that we even for us, because we don't want women, but it's just bigger for y'all though.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's vice versa, but it's bigger for the women. Only reason I say it's vice versa, bro, because I don't want them to try to, like, we understand that if I don't tell you some shit about my ex who just a little terrible, she might key your car, she might break a window.
Right.
Like, I get it. So it's for us too to tell you about her, right? Because we don't want your car getting fucked up.
Right.
But for us, we out here getting killed.
Yeah.
It's some guys that are really like murder over them not being able to get a piece of that pussy no more.
Do you think that doesn't come up in conversation though? Like, you don't think that she really will tell you, like, yeah, I just got out of a domestic, abusively relationship?
I'm gonna tell you why.
No.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I feel like they do for sympathy and.
A lot of women don't, because they don't believe that person's really gonna do that. They take that relationship as a joke. Like, and maybe they got into a little altercation with them, but certain women thrive off that.
I could
and they
see
like that.
I could see a lot of women definitely not believing, but I've actually had chicks where a chick didn't tell me nothing, right? Didn't tell me nothing. Now me, the kind of attitude that I got about stuff like that is I'm a go to war bull. Like
I was gonna say, would you even listen? Would you back off?
I'm not even gonna say what I do. I'm a go to war bull, but at least a person giving me that letting me know. But I did have a woman that would not do. She never wanted to do nothing. Always an excuse. Yo, let's just chill in the crib. That's just, she was from Philly. You feel what I'm saying? So now she coming over to Camden fucking with me. She never want to go, let's hit the mall. Don't want to do it. So then one day her phone is ringing all crazy. And I see just like a nervousness in her while she like chilling. And she's like on the phone a lot and all of that. And when she finally broke down and talked to me, she's like, listen, my whole family is at my crib.
Right.
Because the dude she was dealing with years ago, that's been a nuisance in her life forever, forever. And I've known people in my family, aunts and that went through shit like that, said he was coming to her crib. So her brothers and her dad, uncles is all over there waiting for bull. So she started to let me know things about her where she even told me like, yo, this scar that I got right here was from him cutting me. Like, and I didn't want to tell you about bull because he from your hood. That's why when I come over here, I'm scared to go outside, this, that, and the third. So once I had to force to find out who Bull was and things went from there, the problem was even when I broke down and found out that Bull was really just a weak nigga out here, he wasn't nobody. He could be helicoptered out of here. In her mind, no matter what, when a woman is in an abusive situation,
she was traumatized.
To her, he's the biggest monster Camden ever seen. Where I'm like, he nobody here. You feel what I'm saying?
I don't think that they're scared to tell you out of fear that something will happen. Because like you said, you're the type of person that'll go to war, blah, blah, blah. I think they're more prone to tell because they know you're not going to get scared away. You're going to stand there and make it a competition almost. And you might not even want me, but because
she's just afraid of confrontation.
A person that meets me, a woman that deals with me has no idea that I'll do anything. I'm the nicest, most gentle seeming person. I'm a nerd.
Even if you did think that about me, right? That I was going to move on a nigga first, or whatever, get him out the way, just handle that for you so we ain't got to worry about that no more. You still got to tell me. You still got to tell me. You still got to let me know for the simple fact that if he moved first and he decided to do some dumb shit, I'm done.
He might have followed you. He might have followed you to my crib the multiple times you came.
You at least got to know who he is or what he look like that when you can watch your back.
I ain't going to hold you. I don't even play like that. Like, I've been in situations like this and I'm ASAP to the like, yo, all right, once they mention, like, that nigga be tripping and all that, all right, I need to see pictures. I need to know who he is.
100. No, not only, hold on.
Watch your back.
No,
especially if you're going to be around me. If you're going to continue to be around me, I need to see all this shit.
Not only did I need to have the pictures and know who he was, I made sure all my niggas know. That's how it was with me. Like, no, everybody know what time it is. Right. So y'all already know if it's some bullshit going on, y'all know what it is. That's kind of how once you send out that alert to everybody and motherfuckers start, I know him. That's such and such little, man, this nigga. You find out that the story even that they painted to this person, they were bigger down. That doesn't mean that person won't do some wild, goofy shit. Right. Don't get it twisted. He could be some nobody ass corner boy nigga from over here. Right. You could be anybody and kill your girl or nothing. But these are important things because her telling me that late in the game, you know what I'm saying, was the issue I had. Right. And luckily that it didn't turn out to be that bad situation for me because a lot of people didn't get that opportunity.
My friend was in a situation like that. He was messing with this girl and I guess they were talking for maybe a month, but her abusive ex-boyfriend just got out of jail. And she let him know that, hey, I got a, abusive ex-boyfriend, he just got out of jail. And he was like, I don't even want to deal with that. Because I think the first week or something that he got out, he actually did something. Like they got a PFA against him or whatever, but he broke it and did some shit. And he's just like, I can't handle it because the type of man I am, I will really protect you even if I don't even know you like that. And I know that I'll end up going to jail.
And at least he was able to make that choice for himself.
Because she was honest enough to say something. But what I would share is that, for the woman out here or the woman out there that really be in these situations, I've never really had a domestic violent type of situation. I had somebody a little obsessive, but nothing too crazy. But you kind of, before even moving on, and I know this is hard to, say, but like, don't jeopardize someone else's life.
Please
based
don't.
off of, a situation you in that you can't get fully rid of. You got to handle that first before you deal with somebody else. Because now you're putting someone else's life at stake. And then at the end of the day, if you don't believe that person will really do it, you still...
That's not your choice to guess.
Exactly.
Here's another thing that you need to worry about when you don't tell. When you don't tell, and that person decides to take action.
Yep.
A lot of times in these scenarios, the woman ends up looking like the chick that set it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
You was a part of it. You was an accomplice.
Yep.
You got that nigga killed. And even though you didn't, it comes with it because you never said nothing.
Yeah. You are a pawn.
Like it's just so much with that shit.
Do you think there's anything like that y'all feel like the person, even if it isn't a abuse or a crazy situation, something that you feel like a person should just volunteer the information on? You know what I'm saying? If they meet somebody new, do you think of anything?
Yeah, I think the first thing for me is just like my past history, just like with my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've dealt with a lot of loss. I lost, my father, being murdered. I lost a loved one, somebody that I loved dear to my heart that I was with by, getting murdered. So I've suffered a lot of trauma. Granted, yes, I went through therapy. I went through all that. But sometimes I have moments where, like, I go through my own shit, but I make sure I let people know, like, I'm working on myself.
That's heavy.
And this is a journey that I'm going through. And, like, listen, if you want to come walk with me through this journey, I'll respect that.
That's
but if you
dope.
don't,
I get it as well,
I think the hardest things, right? And this is just me. I think the hardest things for a lot of people to come just straight forward and volunteer be like some of the most embarrassing shit, right?
Yeah.
I just had crabs.
No, I don't think. No.
I'm just saying.
You're healed.
Listen, listen. I'm going to go against Porta.
Don't tell me, because that's going to ruin you forever.
Hold on. I'm going to go against Porta on curable shit. Do not mention if you cured.
Don't talk about that.
But
do not bring that shit up. I'm going against Porter. I want to be clear.
No, if you
I'm going to constantly think about that in my mind.
If you going, just do it. If you go, all right, I'm going to tell you what to do. Just bring your paperwork. Porter paperwork. Paperwork. Just bring your paperwork like this on the jaw. Like, look.
You know what's so funny? You know where Porter gets this?
I'm trying to holler at you.
You know where Porter get this from? Back in the day, it's crazy. I have like older siblings or whatever. Back in the day, like men would be like, yo, let me see your paperwork. For women, like, because I guess, AIDS and HIV back then in the 90s was like, I think what really
it was fake.
Early, but they were
stop.
They were like, yo, let me see your paperwork. People wanted to see people's statuses on that.
I had a chick have to make me go get paperwork and all that type of shit. And I thought,
you still didn't fuck her raw.
And I was mad though, because I thought this was for raw pussy. So I was like,
she still made him wear the condom.
I thought I was getting a raw pass with a joint. It was kind of crazy.
She said paperwork don't protect pregnancy.
I thought, yeah.
But they
was
all
upset.
start with P's. So let's get it.
Yo, that's crazy. So ain't nobody got another.
I agree with Wally, because it gives your whoever you're dealing with, it kind of gives them a little bit more insight into your mental, and it kind of lets them know, like, hey, am I able to deal with somebody who has this head on their shoulders, or is this somebody who I really want to get to know, who's dealing with this?
And I'm gonna tell you something. This is a crazy one, and we don't got to get too deep on it.
Yeah.
But Wally mentioned something so powerful, talking about like losing a significant other, right? It is very hard for a man to compete with another man's ghost. Very difficult. What, things end so abruptly and when life is gone like that there's a lot of not closure, different kinds of trauma, or even for some people that had a wonderful relationship without those things. And now you're trying to live up to the perfect image that's put in the head of somebody else.
You know what's crazy about that real quick? Like, no bullshit. And I don't want to get too much into like detail, because I respect my dogs around me. And, I don't know what the fuck they will want to be shared and shit like that.
Right.
But I'm familiar with like a certain scenario, right? Where like a nigga was a great nigga, right? Passed, right? Another person is in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing person. But the person who passed, you know, he does get remembered. He does get flowers and still
he's
honored.
a legendary person.
Right.
In the hood.
They want to keep his memory alive.
Correct.
Right. And to a certain extent, and I understood it. I understood it when I got wind of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understood it that to a certain extent, yes, we have to be mindful of it, right? Because someone was amazing. We love them forever, right? But if someone is here amazing right now and going ham right now,
Yeah.
and it just really go back to about giving people their proper flowers now while we can smell them, to me.
But you got to understand, too, and just coming from a person that lost somebody that they love,
Okay.
you'll be healed, but you'll forever love that person.
Right.
And it's not saying that the person you're with, you don't love them just as much as you love that person, or even more.
Okay.
But that forever, what I always tell men that deal with women that went through this, don't ever try to, number one, compare yourself to that relationship, right? Because this person's no longer here, right? But number two, if she needs to have a moment, let that person have a moment. Because that's for anybody that you're losing your life. You're going to always have a moment on a birthday, the day they passed away, a holiday. Something's always going to come up. It might not be all the time, but you got to let people express those emotions.
Without being jealous.
Oh, that's dope.
Without being jealous or feeling away.
And they need to take it as they
it.
must really love me if they're willing to share this information with me and they're ready to lay on my shoulder when something's going on about this. Because it takes a certain type of man to be able to, take all of that
But
in.
that's the reason why I want, when we're talking about things that you got to disclose to people is important, because some people, they're not built for that.
Yep.
And I don't even look at it as a bad thing. It's just a person says, I can't, go
Emotionally.
against a person that is no longer here. You know what I mean? A person that is, in a sense, put on a pedestal forever from not just you, because you will have emotional date, but the people around you that's bringing up, remember such and such did this, or such and such did
even
that.
as the man though, like, could you imagine being like thinking to yourself that would be really hard for the man, because he's like, damn, like if he was still here, I would not be here.
And that's why I said it's important to bring up from the beginning, because you don't want to be with a person for a nice amount of time and then people bring up like, oh, you ain't no Bosco, like that, man, bro. She was with him for years. He passed. And and now you start understanding that there's this place or this remembrance or whatever that's still going. They got a memorial thing that they got for Bosco, and your wife still going to that joint. That was her boyfriend. Right. That was her person she was engaged to when he passed. And a lot of people can't have that. You know what I'm saying? So, and we deal with that actually a lot in our community because of the way that we pass away. You know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
both spills, man. I love Wiley's spill. I love my own spill. Y'all spill on it, because it's really like something for those people who in them scenarios to be mindful about, right? And to be mindful about, and just respect the fact that if you dealing with shit like that, it's obvious that you've been around trauma and real, real life, not normal situations.
Right. Respect your partner too. I believe wholeheartedly about that. Respect your partner. That more than anything, this is somebody that's kind of like taking over and loving on you and being supportive of you, even when you have these little moments. Respect your partner.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you straight up before we get out of here, man. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be funny, but we try to end on some comedic shit. I had a homie who had to deal with this. And the way his girl at the time was just extra disrespectful. Every song that came on the radio, shit like that. He's sending me a message. It's George. You know what I'm saying? I'm changing the name, so I'm not being disrespectful. But it was like things like that happening all the time. If they got into a bad argument, it would be that type of thing. George would have never did no shit like that. Like, yo,
you can't do that.
No.
You gonna make the nigga want to kill him again.
That's crazy. Yo, the wheel is out. The wheel is out. The wheel is out. The wheel is out,
and
man.
the buns is out.
Yeah, the wheel is out.
The natural buns.
Listen, Wally always got to make sure that she shouts out natural buns. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's what we represent here, natural beauty. Well, I mean, Sin's gonna get her boobs, but that's okay.
All right.
We support her in that.
Let's get a spin and shout that thing out.
I'm way back here. I feel like I'm not in the action.
Well, get into action.
You go get in the action. Let me throw some ones at you. You mind if
Yo, I got money falling on me now, y'all.
Wait, come on.
let's go. Yeah.
She represents for the little booty.
Monica being lazy.
It's hot in here.
Hey, yo, make sure y'all hit the things button. Make sure y'all support everything we doing. Make sure that y'all cash app us at Devinwade Show. Nasty Girl Wally coming soon. Shout out to all of our supporters, everybody in the chat. Yo, we up out of here, y'all.